Hello to two fans and welcome. This is Chicago Ted coming to you with another replay cast. This one is going to be replay ID number 1952. The rest of it is 044539. I always hate that because I always forget that I'm going to list out the match ID beforehand. Maybe I should just stop doing it because I forget I'm going to list it and then I put it down and then I have to go look it up again while I'm casting it. It's an ordeal. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the replays. It looks like it's starting. Maybe I started a little bit too early. Whatever the case, Madman is going to be on the Phantom Assassin, going out on to Chief Keef, who's playing the Storm Spirit for the Radiant. He's actually just going to get brought down here. He's dropping very low, but Madman, he's going to be going down instead. Hammer will find the First Blood, who is playing the Wyvern for the Radiant, mind you. And now they chase more. And the Greyka, who's playing the Vengeful Spirit for the Dire. Blinken is going to be on the Lycanthrope for the Radiant. Mixter is going to be on the Spectre, and Secretly Fantasy going to be on the Tusk. Meanwhile, to close it out for the Dire, who we haven't said, Mr. Neck is going to be on the Sven with Pananan on the Jakiro. And I think I got everyone else. No. Black, he's going to be playing the Shadow Demon, or Shadow Fiend. There was a Shadow Demon in the last game I casted. Maybe, that's the point of confusion. Whatever the case, it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup, I think. Honestly speaking, Sven and PA will be a lot, or Sven, PA, and Shadow Fiend will all be a much more aggressive kind of core combo. But I think as far as the game of outplaying, not really outplaying, but splitting up fights, split pushing, and just overall being general nuisances, it's going to go the way of the Radiant. So it's going to be full-on fight versus full-on avoiding fights and only taking them when you have to sort of play style coming out. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how both teams play it out. But for right now, I'd be worried if I were Radiant at letting the Dire win the early game. And it seems like they've kind of got that one under control as they have taken the initial advantage 2-0 with the First Blood and the follow-up kill. Who got the runes? It looks like they even got both runes. So they get... Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, the runes were a 50-50 split. So they get the first two kills and one of the runes for just one rune going the other way. Not too terrible of a trade. In fact, I would take that any day of the week. Seems like Shadow Fiend is having a fairly easy time here in the mid lane, though, as he is boosting up with the last hits. 8 last hits, 4 denies to 3-1 on Chief Keef, who is up on the high ground with a double damage, 104 coming out. And it seems like Black realizing, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here. It's going to be an overcharge coming out in Chief Keef. He got one more right click off. That might have been enough to head himself up the kill. Meanwhile, Secretly Fantasy, he's going to get brought down to Mr. Neck. But unfortunately, Neck is also going to go down, pops himself out with the War Cry, getting some extra armor. But that is not enough to protect against the damage coming out from Hammer. As he, well, drops the hammer, gets the kill. Maybe looks for more, but it looks like on the bottom lane things are starting to diffuse. Blinken also looked like he was having a bit of trouble here on the top, but he should be fine for now. Going right back to the mid, though. It seems Black just manhandling this lane right now as Chief Keef. Oh man, 4 HP that he survives this one on. You couldn't be any more lucky than that. I mean, okay, fine. It is not really a damage range that spells sit at, but still, just a moment earlier, a split second, not a split second, but you know what I mean. Blinken will go down on the top lane. Madman will bring him down with a stifling dagger. And now Secretly Fantasy will chase him, but I'm not quite sure if he'll find the kill onto him. Instead, he'll turn onto Greyka. And it looks like with the Wolves at his side, he might just have enough. He will. The Ice Shard's coming through. Madman looking for a return kills. Also got support from the tower. Needs 2 more right clicks, or at least 1 right click with that stifling dagger. Okay, maybe he did need 2 more. He's not going to be able to grab this kill. Meanwhile, Blinken turns around and go in for the Howl. But he shouldn't find the kill. Madman taking a bit of damage. The Wolves will come forward and maybe deal a little bit. No, they both just go down without dealing so much of a scratch to the Phantom Assassin. Chief Keef has come back to lane, but with no more last hits to his name. No denies even. I mean, we talk about Shadow Fiends kind of owning the sort of last hits denies, but the problem that Shadow Fiend faces in the early game, Chief Keef can just run at him and deal a whole lot of damage with magical burst coming out from the Remnant and the overcharge. Force him away from the wave. His right click just is pretty abysmal, but when you let him get ahead like this, 22-6, kind of controlling the lane, has gotten 3 points up in each of his, or 3 points up in the raises. He actually is just going to get a kill here. I mean, Chief Keef is no way to survive this one if 2 raises hit. But Black, he's going to play the waiting game. Going to wait for the moment that's best for Chief Keef. And once he runs back up this hillside, this should be it. Okay, 1. Just needs to hit this last one. It's just going to go for the right click. Only 2 right clicks and a raise. All he needed. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Black will find the kill on Chief Keef. And that'll mean that the Dire are pulling back ahead, or at least grabbing themselves, or posturing themselves better than where they were from the first couple moments of this game where they dropped 2 kills. Madman gonna eat a mango, looking for some aggression, maybe onto Secretly Fantasy, but Reika's there, not providing what looks like too much support, but can in just a moment's time. All 3 lanes seem to be going pretty well in favor of the Dire. I mean, bottom you've got the Shadow, or sorry, the Sven, doing a lot better than the Spectre as far as CS goes. Top, Madman's doing all right. Not really ahead of Blinken, but it looks like this kill should help him out a lot, as the Ice Shard's not going to stop Madman from chasing. The Stifling Dagger will come through, and now they turn around, maybe able to go on to Secretly Fantasy. He's got Blink Strike in 4 seconds, Stifling Dagger up now, and we'll turn around, get the Magic Missile out, Blink Strike onto him, and find another kill. Madman will grab a double in the first, in this lane, and yep, now all 3 lanes are winning, pretty much. As now, Chief Keef has come back. He's pulled up, scrounged together a little bit more CS. We're seeing him well with 13, but still more than doubled by Black, and that trend should be staying as max raises will keep him, Chief Keef, out of the lane. He does not have level 6 either, but with a double damage, that'll help him a little bit. Maybe take that, go into the jungle, and then try to find that level 6. Seems like he'll make his way down towards the bottom lane. They're pinging out Mr. Neck. And it looks like maybe they'll be able to grab this kill. They'll slow him down with a Splinter shot, but they're not quite in a position. Yeah, they get this kill here. Mixter is close by. Chief Keef in. Black coming in for this one. He's actually going to find Mixter. Oh, he needs that one last right click to fly through. Actually, okay. This actually may have secured the kill onto Mixter, actually. Okay. If I can stop saying actually. Hammer should go down as well. No, the ice path just too short. But Spectre Mixter probably would have died anyway. Wishful thinking that the Cold Embrace would have helped him out there. So a 2-for-1. They still bring down the Sven. But dear God, if they don't give a whole lot to Black for that engagement. I mean, he's sitting at 800 gold on top of the Bassi that he's got, treads, and his headdress. I'm not headdress, that Wraith Band. That is a full completed Akala with 800 gold to spare. He is looking so good in the gold department. I mean, his net worth is towering above everyone else's with 4K. 2,500 is the next highest in his own team, sported by Madman, who is still CSing at a rather respectable pace up on the top lane. So again, general gist of this game, Dire are winning all 3 lanes, and that should be a trend that stays as, oh God, Black will find another invisibility rune. Rather unfortunate that he doesn't have his ultimate right now, as that would probably be an easy kill on the Chief Keef. Level 6 will make it less so, but all you need are 3 raises. You hit the first 2 instantly, he tries to ball out, maybe try to catch the third. Instead, he'll make his way up to the top lane as Howl is cast. But Chief Keef, he's going for this one, and he doesn't know he's being stalked by a Shadow Fiend. Now they'll turn around, out onto him, Magic Missile, 1, 2 raises, and Black will find the kill. But he was needed for that one. The end result, though, is that Chief Keef is getting absolutely manhandled in this middle lane. Not something that you really want to have happen, especially when he's going up against a Shadow Fiend, a hero that snowballs very effectively throughout the game. I mean, one of the points of retribution here for the Radiants, they've got a Tusk and they've got a Spectre. Lycan, okay, he's doing all right, but he's by no means out farming anyone. So it's coming down to where, yeah, he's on the field, but the most that he can maybe hope for is split pushing, which is going to be hard versus the Radiant Dire lineup. And so they potentially have three very good wave clears. And now they'll turn around and bring down Secretly Fantasy. Lincoln's there. Actually, they will go ahead and get rid of Greyka, but is that really going to be enough as Blinken taking so much damage? One more race to come through, and Black, he's going to find another double kill. He is 6-0 in this game. 2 kills on Storm, a double on bottom, and a double on top. Now we'll go out for, Chief Keef will look for Mr. Neck, as he's not having the greatest game right now. Despite farming all right, he's got 2 deaths. Make that 3. No, he'll survive this one, but he's going to have to go back to base at the very least. He's got the Helmet of the Iron Will, which is providing a little bit of extra regen and armor, but that is not enough to keep him healthy in this lane. At 10 minutes, 50 CS on the Black. Okay, it's not as great as it could be. He's going to go for that Yule Scepter build, though. Rather outdated and not entirely useful for him anymore. I mean, bottling should be just enough to keep the raises spamming. The general idea of the Yules is not just for the ultimate, it's to make it so you constantly have mana to raise, but oh man, he could actually just be dead here. Black, he's got to turn and fight, but the Spectral Dagger will come through. Mixter will grab the kill. 750 gold for a Spectre right now. That is huge. He's got about 1,600 in the bank, and if he wants to rush that Radiance after the treads, more power to him. I mean, personally, I would go for a little bit of extra regen to maybe go into the jungle and farm up that way, as it's more of an investment than an immediate effectiveness. But straight Radiance is alright too. It just might take a little longer to grab. Meanwhile, Howl on the Greyka, trying to bring down Greyka, but they've got no way to lock him down. Maybe the snowball forward will be enough, and it is enough. They'll punch him into the air. Chief Keef isn't within range to, I think, get the gold or experience from that one, but still is there just for good measure. With everyone close by, Blinken, he's in his shapeshift, but that'll end very soon. Madman, alone in the top lane, is going to be very careful of where this one's going to be. Meanwhile, TP to the bottom lane. We've got Chief Keef coming down, looking for some aggression onto Pananon. Okay, that's not an N. That's actually Krillic or some other character. I don't know. I really don't. But, okay, there's a lot of Krillic characters that I probably can't pronounce here. I'm butchering everyone's name. I know, and I'm sorry, but it's just it's the way it's gotta be right now. So Mr. Neck will farm up. Hasn't put a point into this cleave yet. That's going to make it kind of hard for him to flash farm, but it still is possible for him to find some semblance of farm. As he did pull a creep wave, it seems, into a hard camp. Got 2 of the bigger creeps and is now going to get the entire wave on the top of it. So snowball out. They're going to find Greyka, but yeah, Secretly Fantasy probably just going to go straight down. So it's 8-11 right now, 12.5 minutes. Not quite a Roche attempt you can make. They go in, they see the big guy himself, and they're like, yeah, probably not a good idea. Meanwhile, Black still farming up, constantly farming. That's what you gotta do with Shadow Fiend. Stay at the top of the net worth by a landslide, and you'll be a-okay. You start having others catch up with you, and that's when you might have some trouble. But this is going back to that flash farming thing we were talking about. Neck not having the easiest time. He's got some lifesteal, but only a Helm of the Dominator. He's not able to out-regen the attacks coming in from the neutral camp. And with TPs coming in, you might be in a bit of trouble. Secretly Fantasy gonna go out for Pananon. He's still alive from this one, but one last right click will come through. Now a Spectre's Haunt Reality into Mr. Neck will catch him out here, and he's gonna get closed in on by 3 directions as he goes in to his, oh god, the God Strength. He's able to bring down Secretly Fantasy, but now he's in trouble. Blinken's going to turn around, Hammer's in close by. Remember, no cleave, so he can't just turn and fight. The Winter's Curse out, and this should be enough for the kill. He'll turn and try, but yeah, there's no way. Cold Embrace out on the Mixer to give him a little bit of extra HP, top him off, and then go right back to farming. As Madman doing just that, going for the Battle Fury. Great Cut seems a Force Staff or a Headdress. Okay, Mechanism will be on the way for him. Sven, we talked about that Helm of the Dominator, maybe a BKB after this. Pananon, okay, not looking all that great. He's going for Headdress as well, so maybe one's going mech, one's going pipe, or... Okay, Jakira's definitely going mech. Maybe a Vladimir's out for Great Cut. I could definitely see that being useful, especially since you've got the Vengeance Aura giving a percentage-based damage increase. Vlad's also giving a percentage-based damage increase. That would be very good for someone like Shadow Fiend. He's got a pretty decent agility gain. He'll have plenty of base damage to work with. He has completed that Yule since, though. And I haven't seen him go for the combo just yet. Kind of hard without any sort of invis. He's in a lot of trouble, though. He's got that Yule's, remember, so... Looks like he's gonna go for the pop, and pops 3. Gets a double Requiem off, one from the death. So he'll find Chief Keef, but Chief Keef will end up finding him after the fact. That second Requiem, though, going to secure the kill onto Secretly Fantasy. And now Mixter in a bit of trouble. The Cold Embrace, the swap back. He's got no way of going through the trees now. They need another Stifling Dagger. Blink Strike in 7 seconds. Grey Cup still on the chase. They've got the minus armor. Lots of damage. Another Stifling. And this should be the kill easily. Going the way of Madman. Splinter Shot out. But it will do, it'll do a respectable amount of damage, but not enough to really continue chasing. Still not quite the fight that I think Black wanted to take. You really want to continue this snowball that he's got going. And to die like that is counterintuitive to the plan, especially when you go for this kind of fighting item like Yule's, fighting farming item like Yule's. You either want to fight and win, or you want to farm. Losing a fight or getting picked off like that makes the item less useful because, one, it's meant for farming, getting more raises off and continuing to spam down creeps. If you're dead, you don't do that. And two, it's meant for finding solo pickoffs, which you can't do without any sort of true initiation item, either their Shadow Blade or an Invis-Rune. Or a Blink Dagger could work as well. Mr. Neck has gone for a point in that Greater Cleave, though, which will help him clear creep camps moderately quickly. It's still only, what, 20% or 30% cleave at level 1. Now 42, which is looking more like a Battle Fury. So his cleave will be sufficient to keep him farming. Hammer, though, speaking of Invis runes, he's got one for himself. Can't find solo pickoffs, though. Secretly Fantasy has to be in close for this. Meanwhile, Black has gone to the bottom lane. Could be looking for Mixter. Now, this is the initiation route he needs. We'll go in from behind. Pananon will go out for the Ice Path, but it's not going to connect. Now they get the Yules up. The Haunt out. He should be able to Haunt immediately. He goes for it and is able to get himself up to what seems like... where the hell did he go? He went into the Dire's jungle. All right. Mr. Neck's going to turn and try to fight. He's got God Strength, but Mixer should be away from this one. He's got a TP. Can Greyka stop it? No, he cannot. Only a level 1 Nether swap will mean that he has got no real way of easily getting out of this one. And so, Shadow Fiend will continue farming on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, top Greyka could be in a bit of trouble here, getting pulled back by Chief Keef. They've got some damage. The Ice Shards will come through and secure the kill. Oh boy, Mr. Neck. He's close by, but he was not quite able to turn that one around. Now it demands in, but the Walrus Punch making life a little difficult. The Ice Shards won't connect, and Black is in. He's going to go for the Requiem combo, but it's not going to be enough time. Oh man, the Cold Embrace will almost kill him. Not quite enough, though. He's out of mana, can't blink himself away. Mr. Neck still man-fighting with Blinken, keeping himself alive through the regen, but it's going to end up going down very soon. Black still fighting, will bring down Secretly Fantasy. And so Black will find a triple kill, or at least a killing spree on that one. A 4 for 2. And no way for Mixter to come in and try to secure a kill, as, yeah, his ultimate is down. So Mixter will go back right to farming. Still doesn't have the Relic up yet, which we looked at him having about 2k gold. That, what was it, 12 minutes ago? So the farming speed is not quite up to par, I imagine. 35 CS is going to be the main culprit of that. But this has been a very aggressive game, so I imagine A lot of that has come from, one, not being able to split farm with the Shadow Fiend on the loose, and two, I mean, constant fighting, constant movement around. There's a Desolator, though, completed. Wow, that's actually a very good time Desolator from Secretly Fantasy, as he should be able to just straight up one-shot people with that. Though Chief Keef is in close by. Point booster completed, looking for what seems to be a Bloodstone first. They could try to go for Madman, but they've got to be careful of that evasion. They'll still go for it, maybe. But it looks like for now they will not. No, yeah, no, they won't go for it any further. They'll just farm up. 16 to 20 at 19 minutes. It seems like we've hit a patch of rather slow movement. Mr. Neck is still going for that BKB. We've got Greyka. Well, looks to be, yeah, he is going to be going for that Vladimir's Offering. Shadow Fiend, the Yasha now completed. Sanj and Yasha will be on the menu for him with Madman having the Battle Fury already completed. Could be going for a Helm of the Dominator for himself since Vladimir's already being completed. Kind of scratching my head at that play. Black will end up being brought down in the middle of everyone. It seemed like a kind of a drum circle going down here in the mid lane. As I don't know. I don't quite understand the reasoning for him being there. Maybe he tried to find a pickoff, but when you've got everyone on the Dire able to close the distance very quickly, you're that close to a tier 2. I mean, you got the Haunt in from the Spectre. You've got Chief Keef able to get in close. Hold that thought as the Ice Path will stop the action for a little bit. Pananon will get punched into the air and brought back down. So yeah, I guess the gist of what I was saying before was that you've got plenty of ways to get into the fight if you're the Radiant squad. So trying to find solo pickoffs comes down to a checklist. 1, are you close to a tower? If so, don't go for the fight. 2, are their ultimates up? Well, mostly on. If yes, then probably shouldn't go for it. 3, do you see Storm Spirit on the map? If yes, the follow-up is if he on the other side of the map. If yes, you go for it. If no, yeah, it might be a bad idea. Meanwhile, Black in a bit of trouble. They've got the Walrus Punch. You can see the sheer amount of damage being done because of that Desolator. They will bring him down. Mixter is in for that kill just barely. He's got the Relic completed, and now we'll have a Radiance out very soon.
Dire's mid towers having technical difficulties.
So yeah, the Radiant are looking really good right now. They continue taking decent fights, continue finding pickoffs, get that Radiance completed. And I could see them winning this game. Their one issue is that they've got a bit of a heavyweight here. Blinken, not really looking at too much under his belt. He's got the level 11 though, but he hasn't been split farming. I mean, the tier 1 towers are still up, if that's any testament to the lack of split push on the Radiant side. I mean, you could easily have a couple, at least one more tier 2, at the very least, both the tier 1s down.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
They will not have that. And again, that kind of goes back to the Dire playing a really good game of
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
being impossible to push into, constantly scaring them, being a daunting thing to push into, and ultimately making life very hard for the Radiant. They will find another tier 1 tower, should be able to maybe even push into the tier 2, force a glyph, and then go after that last tier 1. Or force the glyph and go after the tier 2, whatever you floats your boat. But a small rotation now from the Dire as they'll make their way down to the bottom lane. Not going to find anyone, meanwhile, as Mr. Neck is doing a fantastic job at farming down. I mean, he got an Ancient stack and will now bring down a couple of stacks that are in his own jungle. This is really where you want to be as a Sven. Have your team stack up things for you, whether it be the Ancients or the jungle or anything that you can stack, you do it. Because he makes so much use out of these camps, can clear them easily with the cleave, and then use that to buy some items that, you know, really float the Sven boat. I mean, you used to have to buy a Mask of Madness because Sven's attack speed is abysmal, but now, a Assault Cuirass, if it's not enough, you just buy a Moon Shard. And you've got the attack speed you need. So looks like the Radiant, though, they want to go in for a gank, and they should have it. Plenty of damage, yeah, they've got him. Mixter will also come in for this kill, but mostly just for the experience. But that Radiance is now revealed, dealing a pretty decent tick of damage into the bottom lane. But the Dire look like they want to trade a tier 2 for their own tier 1. A very worth it trade if they can pull it off. Actually, okay, never mind, there's no tier 2 in this lane. Do they try trading a tier 3 for a tier 1? No, they're not even close enough. The tier 1 top is already down. But the Dire are already just pushing up the high ground. Looks like they want to try to break it and force the Radiant back. They can't push any further than this than where they are now. They're going for one TP back. Black will go for the Requiem right on top of him. Doesn't even need to put it off, but he'll do it anyway. Oh boy, whatever the case, tier 3 dropping very low, and oh boy, there's actually no TPs. They can't get back. Now they will. Mass TPs if they go and buy them. As all three are now caught into the Winter's Curse. Black going to get brought down because of it, but now they'll bring down Secretly Fantasy. He's inside the Cold Embrace, but he'll eventually go down. Come on, Dire. Could just go after the objectives. 25 minutes having a racks up is fantastic if they can get this one off, and it looks like they should if they just continue going after it. Instead, they'll bring down Blinken. They will get him down the Cold Embrace, keeping him alive. They'll still try to fight into him, despite that Cold Embrace. They'll still chase. Get Madman back, though. Just bring down this melee racks. It regens. You need to finish it. Madman, he's going after the ranged. No! Get the melee barracks, dude. Oh man, this is trouble. They left the melee barracks to stand. Oh, hold on. The siege creep. Siege creep, you're supposed... Oh, they lost vision. The siege creep, he's got no vision of the... Yeah, he can't see the rocks. Oh, man, that was the biggest throw of the Dire's young lives. Honestly speaking. Like, they could have had a melee racks right there. Ranged racks, not so important. Yeah, it's good, but... Oh, boy. So, I don't know. They lose two. They refuse to play objective gaming. And they rely too heavily on a siege creep that just couldn't go the distance. So I don't know what to make of that, aside from the fact that, yeah, I mean, getting a racks up at 25 minutes is fantastic. It almost secures you the game. Getting only a melee racks is still good, but it isn't game-winning. And now it looks like Radiant, they want to turn this one around and maybe go for... I don't think they can get a racks of their own. They're probably going to at best get this tier 2 tower down, but... And the fact still stands. Radiant, that only happens once. You only catch an enemy team without TP scrolls once. They will never play the rest of this game without TPs again, or at least we hope they will. So you don't pull stuff off like that every once in a blue moon. Or you do pull stuff off like that once in a blue moon.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom
You
tower?
only pull stuff off like that once in a blue moon. So... It's trouble and the Dire town, but again, they aren't in a bad spot right now. They're only behind 1 kill. The graphs are showing that they're ahead 2,500 gold, equilibrium at experience. Like they win another fight, and this is a lane they can definitely secure the racks in, or they don't even need to push it out if they don't want to. They can just push another lane, get that tier 2 town, and then maybe if they need to rotate down to the bottom lane to finish off the racks, or just go after another tier 3 tower. Whatever the case, about 27 minutes in game time. And the Chief Keith, who's able to get away just barely. They don't have the stun lock to bring him down, but he's going to run out of mana pretty soon. He's on the other side of the Ancient Creep, so he is just fine for the time being. Blinken, though, he's going to be blinked on. Going into the shapeshift will mean he just runs away. No bashes, no real stuns to lock him down. Man, meanwhile, he looks like he's going for that BKB. Black has gone for the Sanjin Yasha, should be going for a BKB of his own. And Hammer up on the high ground, drops an Observer Ward. Keep an eye on the Dire's progression. And the Dire, meanwhile, will go after a tier 2 tower. Just to try to put some extra aggression right now on it. Secretly Fantasy, he's hit by the minus armor. Just look at the damage, they blow him up. They don't have the correct line on his vision. He's going to go into the Shadow Blade, gets himself out. The Winter's Curse now on to Madman. We'll lock in a couple of targets, and Madman will go down. Great Cut also drops. There's a Requiem out. Black will not find anyone because of it, though. And Mr. Neck will get brought down up on the high ground. 3 for nil. Black on the run. But Not sure you survive this one, though. The ice path will secure his escape.
Tower could use a hand.
Maybe they try to go in. Chief Keef still looking for some extra movement. Will go instead on the Panan.
What for?
Mixer trying to be cheeky and go for the trees, but they've got this kill easily as they'll come through for the snowball. They actually might also have black, but they need another ice shards. 3 seconds. The splinter shot won't slow them down, as that only affects the targets around the cast point, or the casted target.
Mid tower could use a little help.
No creeps to push though with this Radiant squad, so they can't bring down another tier 2. Instead, they take a fantastic fight, 4-0. And they could take a look, maybe shift their gaze towards Roshan, but MVP, Hammer, he's been playing out of his mind right now. These Winter's Curses catching 3 or even 4 sometimes opponents and securing what have been tough fights, making them easy, getting easy picks, and pushing even further. Meanwhile, Secretly Fantasy will back himself away. Once again, the raise is not quite on point, as Roshan dropping very low very quickly. Blinken can definitely be a test attributed to that one. But Black will come through. Blinken, he's going to go down here. They'll make their way into the pit. Do they get a Roshan steal? Roshan is dropping very low. They want to go for the Aegis, but the Winter's Curse once again locking in 3. Where's the Aegis? Who picked it up? The Aegis is still on the ground. No one can pick it up. No one even knows it's there. The Dire will eventually secure this one out, but oh man. Pick up the Aegis Immortality. They don't even know it's okay. Finally, they get it. Pananan will pick it up, but the Dire will find 4 off that one. Oh man, once again, it's in 4-0, except on the other side completely. About a 3K to 4K gold swing, 6.5K experience swing. The Dire get, or the Radiant get nothing. Actually, who brought down the Roche? Okay, yeah, the Radiant did bring down the Roche, so they got something, but not everything they needed. As Chief Keef could be in a bit of trouble, he gets stunned by the ice path. Now do they have a Stormhammer to follow up? No. Close, but no cigar. That electric vortex lasting just long enough for Chief Keef to come out of the initial stun. Meanwhile, Black Up goes back up to the top lane to continue farming. He's almost got that BKB, about 500 gold off from it. Meanwhile, a Manta Style completed, doing 2 things. First of all, the Manta Style helps him farm. So you pop the Manta, you send them out to push one wave. Boom, you've got Radiance in that wave. It's kind of like setting a Spirit Bear with Radiance to push out a wave, except Spirit Bear can last a lot longer. The second effective use of it is that they both have Desolate. So if you bring down, or if you catch out a solo target and are able to surround him with your illusions, you do a metric shit ton of damage. Like, it's not even funny how much damage Mixer can do. So this is the point where you cast your Manta Style and push it down the mid lane. As looks like we've got a pause. Let's just fast forward through that here. Continue popping through these. Yeah, so BKBs will be completed by the Phantom Assassin, Madman, as well as Black. These are 2 major items here. That'll help a lot versus these Winter's Curses, unless they're the target. Which, if they're the target, they can probably survive it. Secretly Fantasy. Shadowblade's going to run out very soon. Knows this will turn around, but there is a Yule Scepter to catch him out if need be. Instead, no! No! Oh, they go on a Winter Wyvern illusion! That was a BKB popped as well. BKB and Requiem of Souls. So, oh boy. That's one of those plays that you look back and you say, shit. I mean, he could have had the Tusk there. He could have easily had the Tusk, but instead, he went for what could have been the easier kill, turned sour really fast. So, Chief Keef will find a pickoff fairly easily onto Mr. Neck. Down in the bottom lane. Nice 440 gold and change to go his way. Just shy of, actually. But Radiant will continue this maneuver and through the bottom lane. A gank from the Dire, though. Madman and Pananan have come down, though, to try to secure at least 1 or 2 kills for their squad. They need to find their opening, though, and maybe it's in the Secretly Fantasy. Do they have any dust, any detection, anything? No, meanwhile, Madman will get vortexed in, taking a lot of damage from Papa's BKB. No Requiem pop from Black. They still get the kill. Meanwhile, there's going to be a Winter's Curse from Madman. Remember, he's got the BKB, surviving through a lot of this. Chief Keef going to start to try to play the Storm Spirit game, but he gets stunned up by the Ice Path. They'll turn around and try to bring him down, but they can't quite do so. Black now, with a raise, not going to be enough. He goes down, but the Requiem from his death is enough to get one of the kills. Though, I bet they wish they had an Aegis on one of their more important targets, as now Madman will just die twice to what seems to be Blinken. Chasing him down, no bashes, nothing. They've got a Heaven's Halberd actually for Hammer, so they've got the maim. They've also got the slow from the Splinter Shot, a Yule Scepter out from Hammer, and now the slow from the Arctic Burn. It's a long kill, but it's a kill. It'll go to Blinken, close to the tier 2 tower, or tier 3 tower as well, so they might just be able to straight push this one, and maybe go for some objectives. Instead, they'll back off, fearing the Sven, and that'll be the end of that engagement. 35 minutes into this game, 3 for 1. And still only a ranged Rax down in the bottom lane. The melee has since regent up to full HP. The Radiant still looking to equalize that advantage, at least
You know the drill.
soon. But we're approaching the 40-minute mark where the game gets a lot more difficult for the carries to, as far as the decision-making goes. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Madman taking a bit of damage, but dealing it right back. And secretly, Fantasy will go down. Chief Keef going through the trees, but whenever you do that, you still have a quick path to follow. He needs to go over a high ground or something. No, he will get an Invis Rune, so that'll be enough to protect him. Meanwhile, Black, he's been jaded by this before. He throws out one auto attack to just get the feel for it. And then, oh man! Immediately there's a Halberd, and then a self-fuels, and now the Winter's Curse. He's alive. Oh man.
Top tower's gone.
This is the second time in a row Black has just put himself, or been put in a very troubling situation. So Pananana, the top lane, will push out, but the rest of the Dire just kind of maneuvering around the other sides of the map, the other corners and crevices of this map here. Solar Crest is completed by Greycut. He's doing a fantastic job at getting these items that supports typically build, but not going full on like Mechanism and Wards, where the Jakiro's got that. He's actually got a full Guardian Greaves, interestingly enough. So the Dire will begin a sort of slow siege in through the mid lane. You gotta be careful this one. You can easily get picked off solo. Looks like is trouble that Greycut might be facing. Madman could be in a bit of trouble. Here's a snowball in. They've got plenty of damage. They'll bring him down. And now Black, he's going to turn around, pop his BKB, but they've got a lot of physical damage to go right through it. Doesn't matter as Blinken's dead. Mr. Net comes through with the God Strength and with the cleave. Look at the damage he'll bring down too. Oh man, he gets Chief Keef on the back of that one. Now he should be able to grab Hammer as the damage is absolutely real. 300 per. The Heaven's Halberd is giving him that nice mischance, but I'm just looking at one crit being a whole lot of damage, and there it is, a 500 damage crit. Mr. Neck will get a triple kill, and this could very well be another tier 3 tower. But there's 4 buybacks available for the Radiant, so they don't get much more than that. Oh man. Fantastic fight, showcasing the power that this Sven's got, and I mean that'll get him very close, if not at his Daedalus. He's able to get this tier 3 tower and survive the coming moments. So, War Cry out, a buyback out from the Winter Wyvern. It looks like Chief Keef has already come back, and Mr. Neck making the smart play, backing out, will grab himself a Demon Edge. And then he's about 200 gold away from the completed Daedalus. There is one item that you really do not want this Sven to have. So yeah, he'll continue farming this one up. Meanwhile, regeneration being picked up by Panamon. Rick's taking a bit of damage from the Radiance burn of the illusions, but not gonna be that much. Meanwhile, Chief Keef He's going hard for Greca, but you gotta be careful. He's out of mana. Cannot even cast his Ball of Lightning yet. Now he can cast it, but only to evade a short bit. And he'll deny himself as he's in a very bad position here. 4 Bloodstone charges now for this Storm Spirit. Meanwhile, Hammer is down the bottom lane trying to push out this already pushing in wave. And Black doing the pushing in as Mr. Neck, he's got the Daedalus completed. And we can look at that getting really difficult for him. So, Black will make his way around the bend. Seals out. There's a BKB though, right? No, maybe he does, but he ends up going for the shapeshift instead. Just needs one more raise, and he gets it off. Oh, meanwhile, Mixer will bring down Madman. That's a very much needed kill to go the other way. But it sounds like that where you question the lack of use in the BKB. Still, both cores down without buyback, or at least one core on each team, will mean that there is no pushing, no real follow-up to happen after each of these kills. Lycan should be going for that Basher soon, though. Same thing. Actually, very similar styles coming out from both of them. The Basher coming soon. Chief Keef will go forward once again, going out onto Draka. He's got Knight of Scotty, barely towards that right-click damage, but as far as intelligence goes, he burns to that quick and isn't able to regen very quickly thereafter. However, he'll come through. Secretly Fantasy will be able to bring down Greycut. Now they look for Pananon, who, yeah, he's dead as well. The Snowball will evade. Hold on, there's going to be the Winter's Curse. Mr. Neck, that BKB is going to run low very soon. He's got to turn and fight, but he's getting kited to Scotty, the slow. Now the Heaven's Halberd. They'll just turn and fight him. They've got the Manta Style, and that will be enough to bring him down. My Black, he's going to look for Secretly and just needs one more attack, but there's a Scotty once again. The slows and the complete outplay as a Radiant will bring him down. Mixter with a double kill at 41 minutes into the game. But the split push is sort of real. The creeps will push into the bottom lane. They shouldn't be able to bring down this melee barracks, though, as anyone coming in to defend against it should be able to help it out.
Radiant's bottom racks, it's hurting.
And yeah, the Rack's taking a significant chunk of damage. There we go. There's the return. Now a heart completed on Mixter. Assault Cuirass now done on Secretly Fantasy. Oh, man. And the AoE. He's got the -5 armor on the enemy, plus the -7 from the Desolator. He can... I'm pretty sure he can one-shot someone like Greycut. Or very close to one-shot someone like... No, okay, never mind. Greycut's got a lot of additional armor from the Vlads. Maybe not. Can't one-shot anyone, but can get very close, too. Lincoln's going to pop that BKB to get away. The Tier 2 tower is still standing. The Wolves not deciding to hit it. So, this push will kind of fizzle in the mid lane. They'll still sort of try to siege it. Is that an Aghanim Scepter on Pananon? That is. Yeah, so that macro power is lasting quite a bit of time. Meanwhile, Madman doesn't have quite enough vision up onto the high ground to know that Secretly Fantasy's there. Instead, Mr. Neck on the Mixter. This is a tough kill for him, and it's an impossible kill, as Mixter will go ahead and Spectral Dagger up onto the high ground. And Mr. Neck, I mean, they've got to be very careful about this kiting potential that the Radiant have. Hammer will deny the bounty room. They'll try to bring down this Winter Wyvern. They should be able to get it. The Winter's Curse will lock everyone down. This might secure his escape. In fact, it will not. He'll still go down. That sets up the rest of the fight as Greycut will drop, and that gets rid of all their bonus armor. Mr. Neck turning around and trying to fight. The damage is real, but the cleave, he needs to find someone. He actually brings down 2. Turns up onto the high ground for Chief Keef. It looks like he should go down here. But Black looking for the return on Chief Keef. Won't find it. It's a 3 for 3. And Sven, Mr. Neck turns that into a turns that from a bad situation into a not so bad situation. Still, not the ideal fight, but it's a lot better than you could have possibly hoped for. And so, Black, with no ability to just straight up push after that fight, will go right back to farming. Mixter has a similar idea, though, and I think he's just fine with this. The Heart, the Manta style, could go anything here, but now that he's got the tankiness, he can go straight for some damage. Maybe go into the Butterfly, or go more stats and go for a Scotty. I mean, a 3k HP Mixter is still very... Okay, he's got 3k right now, effectively, but a more than 3k HP, what is it, 19 health per stat, and it's 20 strength, plus the 250 from the point booster. Let's look at it, actually. I think I'm roughing out some numbers. 250 health from the point booster and 25 extra stats, which ultimately is going to come out to about 210, 220 extra HP. So 470 just about HP would put Spectre right up at the 3,400 HP mark if he wants to go for that Scotty. So that's impossible to bring down, considering he's also got the Desolate, or sorry, the Dispersion, which reflects 22% of that, which means about a quarter, just shy of a quarter of that effective AHP will get added on to the total, and making it about 500 to 600 extra HP. So, yeah, really good. So, yeah, bottom lane, Pananan getting punished for a split push here, and solo Jakiro, that's gonna happen. Sad to say. Meanwhile, Black will find Chief Keef, but you can't just Yule's an ultimate anymore. In fact, he never really was able to do that. Maybe now he can. I mean, you have time before he's able to cast the ball lightning to get off, but you gotta time it perfectly. Meanwhile, Mixter and Hammer are going after this Roche, and they should get it. Lincoln also coming in for some extra support, the lifesteal being pretty invaluable as well. So an Aegis, still only Aegis in this Roshan's, that will go the way. Probably a Blinken. I don't think they need to give it a Mixter, but it looks like he does have an open item slot if they want to do it. Just means he can go a lot more ham than he was able to go beforehand. And so yeah, he'll get the Aegis Immortality. And I imagine the slow siege will be off the back of him just kind of sitting on the high ground. Meanwhile, Yule's up, mistimes it a little bit. He realizes it, so he will cancel the Requiem. And you can't one-shot the Storm Spirit either, because he's got that Scotty. He's got way too much HP for that. So even if you do get the Requiem off, yeah, you don't quite get the kill. Madman will still kind of blink up to the high ground, but it's not doing quite a lot of damage. In fact, he felt like a pea shooter, even though he really isn't. It still is, he still relies on that crit to do most of his damage. And Chief Keef, not to mention, he's got a lot of HP at his disposal, plus some decent HP regen. Madman with a ranged bash from the Stifling Dagger. I always love that. It's fantastic sometimes. But meanwhile, still slow siege as Chief Keep up on the top, Mixter solo in the middle, and then 3 on the bottom. All they gotta do is get the Dire to engage in one of those lanes, and the rest will be either split push down or the Radiant will converge and go for the counter initiation. Speaking of, it looks like Chief Keep once again taking a bit of harass here in the top lane. As Mixter solo pops into his Manta style. The Mixer Mac actually coming in, looking for the kill, but the damage is real. Fortunately, he's got the Aegis Immortality. The Requiem will be wasted. And now Mixter will turn and try to fight. You can see the damage turning around, doing lots here as a Winter's Curse. They'll bring down 3. The Spectre getting Yules into the sky, but he's actually in the snowball. Mr. Next still fighting with that God Strength, doing a lot of damage, and is actually turning this one around. Can he bring down Mixter here? His God Strength will end in about twice the amount of time it's already been. Or another instance of time, it's only about half over. And Mr. Neck will turn, try to fight Mixter. He's taking a bit of damage here. Doesn't have an MKB, so this Radiance Burn is being a bitch to deal with. And now Chief Keef will turn and bring down Jakiro. A 2 for 2. Madman still trying to fight on the Mixer, but once again, this evasion is being hard as hell, and Madman will go down. But in the back lines, we also saw the Tusk going down. Greyka will drop, making it a very near 5-man wipe. Only lone survivor is Black, who just barely hobbled into the base. So Mixter and Chief Keef will make their way, put some chunk damage in this tier 3 tower with the glyph, I mean, they still get it, I think, but I'm not quite sure they can actually get the racks off this one. Mixer, meanwhile, with that Heart of Tarrasque. Oh, wait. Black, he's buying time here, and he'll go for the BKB and TP out, but he just protected his tier 3 tower. Okay, no, that it looks like it's actually still gonna die. Almost protected his tier 3 tower. Now Mixter will go in for that Rax, and you know what? He should be able to get it. With that butterfly, there's no real way for Black to force him off this. And Yules to slow him down. Pops a couple of raises to bring down some creeps, but Chief Keef is in there. And Mixter is just going straight on in as well. There's going to be what looks to be a satanic pop, but not doing quite enough damage. He'll get brought down. No buyback. The Rax in mid is gone. Maybe they can go for more here. It's a 2-on-5, a third coming in through the mid lane, a fourth also coming in, so they can back up, regroup, and reinitiate. But the damage is done. Like a mid Rax going down, not the worst Rax to fall. In fact, it's the easiest Rax to deal with. But still, it's quite a bit more difficult to play this game into one lane of super creeps. Chief Keef will now continue split pushing up on the top lane. Draco's going to swap back Blinken. Ooh, yeah, he should go down. Just going to be one swipe from Mr. Neck. Hammer turning around with the Winter's Curse, as well as Spectre. Launching in, looking for something. Mixer is in the middle of the action. No, Mixer Neck is still in God Strength, trying to fight. Remember that BKB keeping the evasion out. He'll bring down Mixer. 1149 gold for him. Now he'll turn to Hammer and get another kill. It's a triple for the Sven. Oh, two of them have buyback though, but 5,000 gold now available for this Sven. I imagine MKB will be his next target, if not a Satanic. Nice dash forward on the Secretly Fantasy. That's an ultra kill for Neck. Madman, he's got a Battle Fury too, so they're cleaving down waves pretty quickly. They've got a creep pushing in with them. They should be able to bring down this tier 3 tower, even though the Glyph gets spent. They'll actually buy back on Mixter. Here comes Chief Keef. If they try to fight this, they'll probably buy back more. No, actually, they only have one buyback, and that's on Blinken. So he doesn't really have that big of an impact here. Mr. Neck, they try to fight, but the Stormhammer getting disjointed. Mixter is close by. Black is in. BKB popped by demand. As River Dire will go up under the high ground, still try to bring down this tier 3 tower. Radiance from Mixer making this very difficult. High ground mischance plus Radiance mischance. Man, he goes down for this one. Blinken will chase forward. He's got the shapeshift. But Black and Mr. Neck should be just fine here. Still, the tier 3 has dropped, keeping the equilibrium from shifting into the Radiant's favor without the Radiant having some intervention. Okay, never mind, actually. The Rax is down the mid, so their equilibrium is constantly going to be in favor of the Radiant. Well, Black, he's turning on the Blink, doing a good chunk of damage. Yep, comes through. Mr. Neck will fly in with one swipe to get the kill. And that is another 70 seconds on your Lycanthrope, who does still have buyback, but you don't want to buy back on him. You really want to be split pushing, but Dire are not taking too keenly to him being alone. And so they'll push down the mid lane once again. Chief Keef goes up into the secret shop. Will buy another Mystic Staff. Could be a whole load of things. Meanwhile, Pananon will go down the top. Once again getting popped for split pushing. Mr. Neck trying to fight Chief Keef. He can't turn and stun. He actually gets it off, but he's tacking so damn slow because the Scotty pops his BKB and his God Strength. He needs to regen up this one. Actually, doesn't even have Satanic. It's just a right-click damage he's doing. He'll still go down. Chief Keef, he's just outplaying right now, but now he's out of mana. They'll bring him down, but at what cost? He's actually still alive. Maybe he survives this one. No, swap back. They get him. But at what cost? They lose their Sven God Strength on cooldown, although it will be back up when he's back alive, unless he has to buy back. But BKB also being spent. Already at 5 seconds, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Oh man, but I always thought he had a Satanic by just how much he was regenning at times. But that's just the power of God Strength. You get so much damage out, eventually you're going to just regen everything right back up. I mean, what is it? A 15% lifesteal off of 1,000 damage is 150 HP life stolen. Yeah, that's a lot. So at 54 minutes, still no clear winner in this game. We can, honestly speaking, I think that Radiant have this one sort of tied up. They haven't tied their bow yet, but just the fact that this BKB is not going to be protecting Sven forever. 5 seconds is no time at all when the game's lasted 54 minutes. So Mixter, if he's able to stay alive, he should be able to just slowly but surely clean down the Dire team. But they've got to be careful about letting the Dire clean them up on the flip side. I mean, we already see Van Assassin doesn't have the most respectable amount of damage, but 2 cleaving heroes, plus BKBs, I mean, plus minus armor out the wazoo, you're looking at the potential to get team wiped in 1 or 2 right clicks. And that's exactly the kind of play they have to avoid. So Radiant will go for the Aegis once again, a double damage on the Mixter. Doesn't have any regen, but now he does actually with Secretly Fantasy in close by. But this is a very dead Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese. Will actually go to Blinken and Secretly Fantasy respectively. Mixter deciding he wants nothing to do with that Aegis. And I imagine, you know, sometimes an Aegis might be a little bit better than a Diffusal Blade to have, but he's looking for all the possible damage in the world. And I don't know, I'm not sure I agree with it, but at the same time, I'm not the one making the decision here. It's going to be a wraparound gank, though, from Pananot and Greycup. They'll go out for the Ice Path, but he'll miss on 2. Blinken now, he is a Aegis carrier, so bringing him down wouldn't be too effective. Now Greycup in a bit of trouble. BKB pop from Black, but that Rec Room will get canceled by the Winter's Curse. Now Rec Room will fly out. There's a pretty decent amount of damage as they're able to bring down Hammer. Not to mention, Mixter has already gone down. Talk about him needing that Aegis immortality. They'll turn around, they'll bring down Hammer. Chief Keef also in a lot of trouble. But he should be the one to survive this one, as he's got plenty of mana to get away. Still, he's got to be very careful about Madman chasing him down. They've also got Mr. Neck closing in. Remember we talked about that Moonshard giving the much-needed attack speed to Sven? Well, there you go. I mean, all it takes is God Strength, 1 or 2 cleaves, and yeah, that... I didn't even see Spectre join that fight. That's how fast she died. And we're talking about 25% dispersion, 24 plus armor, and 3k HP going down without so much of a blink of an without so much of a blink of an eye. It's I have no words for it. The only words I have is, oh shit, have Dire won this game, as Radiant are losing their mid and possibly bottom racks. Well, they've already lost that range racks, but they should lose the second one. They can lose all 3 right here. They can easily get Mega Creep as long as Chief Keef doesn't have much to say about it. And it looks like he's trying to. He's looking to fight, gets stunned briefly, but he's able to get away. Is that a God Strength popped up on the top lane? It is! Just to bring down the racks, and yep, this is Megas. Spectre cannot buy back from this one. All 3 melee barracks have gone down, and that is Mega Creeps completed for the Dire team. Chief Keef, let's look at the damage. So there is a Storm Hammer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chief Keef is taking so much. He hasn't so much as dealt a little bit back to Mr. Neck, who's turning and fighting on the Blinken. He's still alive. He'll finally go down. No! Okay, finally goes to Secretly Fantasy. Actually, we'll grab a double kill off this one. Now they'll turn him to Pananana. Buyback? You don't need to buy back, Sven. You just got Mega Creeps. Just kind of chill out, man. Take a deep breath. Those steroids are getting to your head, dude. Whatever the case, we mentioned it. Mega Creeps now pushing in. And although the Radiant have a decent lineup to deal with Megas, and by decent I mean they've got a Radiance, they need more. The Scotty helps, but Secretly Fantasy, he's gonna only be able to right-click him down. I'm pretty sure if he gets swamped, he'll take more damage he can deal. They need more... God, Mjolnirs are definitely important. Like, the thing you gotta do whenever you get Mega Creeps, and I know I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but it comes up so many times when I get replays, mostly because most replays are epic games that end in Mega Creep pushes, but... Maelstroms. Maelstroms. You want to have as much clear damage as possible, and it's the best item for clearing waves on a hero that typically doesn't clear waves. And you don't buy a Battlefield in a ranged hero because obvious reasons. If you're a DK, you don't pop ultimate just to clear out a wave. You want the Maelstroms to get rid of everything. So get the Maelstrom, build in the Mjolnir if possible. I think they've already got a Vladimir's offering. Would it be on the... Yeah, it's on the Lycanthrope. So get those completed, and you've got an ample shot. Don't, and you might be in a lot of trouble. Mr. Neck will have a double damage rune. Yeah, no, this is not a fight you want to go for, but he doesn't pop a BKB! He bought back! He bought back 120 seconds. He's on the sidelines. He is their damage. He is their entire team. Oh no, Graker will also go down. Does she have buyback? Yes, so she does. Black has buyback as well. But no BKB now. Guys, I think this game's over. I think we have just witnessed the throw of all throws. Madman, he goes in, but he also gets hexed before the BKB, and he goes down to Mixer. He's got nothing for this one. Okay, maybe he does have something. The bash out, though. He'll get blocked. Black? He bought back, I think. Back is black. Black is back. Back is something. I don't know. He buys back, but he can't fight. He'll walk right back in, but turns right around. Greyka, no buyback if he goes down. I don't even know what to say anymore. Greyka's down. So too is back. Black has been back to hell and back to black and back and black and black to hell and back. I don't know. Radiant won. There's no more eloquent way to put it. Dire have thrown the near unthrowable game by buying back on a Shadow Fiend, or on a Sven, and getting picked off. GG, well played, comes out. It is the call. No, that's a BMGG. That is a total BMGG. Oh, man. It is sort of a base race, I guess, if you can call it that, but yeah. Still no official GG coming out, as I think the Dire they just can't handle it. No GG, no skill, I don't know. Whatever the case, whatever you want to label it. Radiant have won. And I mean, they should have won. They really should have won coming out from, I guess it was 30 minutes onward. They definitely had the momentum. They had the lineup to do it. But then that Sven came along. He showed that he had all the capability in the world to just turn and one-shot, two-shot everyone. But that's when you gotta be wary of those hexes. And the Sight Device from Chief Keef, easily the game-winning item as you get Mr. Neck before he's able to pop that BKB off. And he should have had it. The moment Spectre came into that fight, he should have popped BKB. But hindsight's 20/20, and in the end, it's going to be a Radiant victory stolen right from underneath their feet. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the donator for this game. I hope you enjoyed watching the replay. I hope I was critical enough for you. If you liked the video, you can like, favorite, subscribe. If you want your own replay casted, check the description of this video. $10 a request, whether live or recorded. I don't discriminate. I don't judge. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you for the next replay.